Hi, I'm Curtis Henry. Although today, the 1960s, may seem like a very long time ago, there are events in today's world that closely parallel those that happened in the 1960s. For example, the racial movement in the Black Panthers. Being a radical group, the Black Panthers often found themselves in violent and dangerous situations. Such situations actually led to 43 Panthers dying in 1 year, as well as 785 of them ending up in jail. Unfortunately, of those 43 deaths, a large sum of them were due to unjust FBI interference and violence. One of these Black Panthers who lost his life in the struggle to liberate his brothers from oppression was Bobby Hudson, who was buried in a graveyard, much like this. The first case of violence against the Black Panthers was in the form of the young leader, Bobby Hudson. Bobby was in his house when 50 cops opened fire. The shootout lasted 90 minutes, and eventually, Bobby stumbled out of his house confused and dazed and was shot down with 18 bullet wounds. Moving on from Bobby Hudson, moving on to the story of Fred Hampton. Fred was another leader of the Black Panther Party who was shot down while the police were serving a warrant at his house. Normally, this sounds like normal cop duty, serving a warrant. However, in this situation, the warrant was served at 12:30 a.m. Furthermore, there were 6 cops waiting at the front door to go in. However, this was not the only police activity taking place that night. Also, there were 8 men going into the back door, much more resembling a raid than serving a warrant. Furthermore, there were 82 rounds shot into the house. Return fire? Only 5. The police tried to cover up this event as a simple Black Panther violent outbreak, citing evidence such as a door riddled with bullets, and ballistics suggesting all those bullets came from inside. But later analysis showed that these bullets actually all came from the police themselves, and even some of the bullets claimed to have been shot by the Black Panthers were actually simple nail heads. In an attempt to show just how unrealistic it is to serve a warrant at 2:30 in the morning, I have devised a plan. This plan involves me going outside at 2:30 tonight and serving my family with a warrant. And their reactions will be recorded as testament to how ludicrous this deceitful cover-up of a warrant at 2:30 is. I'm here to serve a warrant. What are you doing? Matt, I'm here to serve a warrant. What are you doing? There's suspicious activity. What are you doing? What are you doing? What on earth are you doing? With the murder of Panthers catching the public's eye in a negative way, the FBI had to resort to new means of eliminating them. The way they did this? The legal system. Perhaps you're wondering why I'm here at a tennis court. Well, the reason is, a tennis court played a key role in one of the most infamous Black Panther court cases. The man accused was Geronimo Pratt. Geronimo Pratt was a key leader in the LA chapter of the Black Panthers, so therefore the FBI decided he must be eliminated. Pratt was accused with the tennis murders, a murder where a man playing tennis was shot out of seemingly nowhere. The main case the FBI were able to build against Pratt was through a man named Julius Butler. Butler was a former Black Panther who was trying to avoid jail time. Butler, who vigorously denied any involvement with the FBI, was shown on record as having conversations with them, specifically about Pratt. Butler, who wanted a shortened time on his sentence, was able to lie to the FBI and tell them that he knew when and where Pratt was when he killed the woman on the tennis court. The evidence in favor of Pratt was overwhelming. In fact, during the time of the murder in Oakland, Pratt was proven to be all the way over here in Chicago. How, you might ask? By the FBI's own illegal phone tap records. Also on the side of supporting Pratt, the gun ballistics found for the bullet inside the victim did not match the ballistics on Pratt's own gun. So how possibly could the FBI overcome these facts? The answer is simple: by lying. The way that they achieved these lies was through their inside man, Butler. Butler had said that Pratt told him he threw away the gun after the murder, therefore canceling out the ballistics claims. And as for the phone tap records, they simply never disclosed them. After their attempts through murder and fraudulent trials weren't enough to break down the Black Panther Party, they decided that eliminating them wasn't going to work. So the next step they took involved splitting them in half. With the Black Panther Party already being split on an East Coast-West Coast feud, the FBI decided to take this and amplify it, writing fake letters to the corresponding leader of each side. These letters had inflammatory messages such as, "I'm going to kill you," or "you're a punk," and other violent things, hopefully destroying the foundation of the party. One such usage of the letters was when the West Coast leader, Huey P. Newton, visited Harlem, New York. Here, the FBI capitalized on the opportunity and sent Huey letters saying they were going to kill him, and then signed the fake signatures of New York leaders. The FBI became so fond of this method, they employed it in other ways. One such example is Martin Luther King. With the FBI believing he was a threat to inciting black riots, they sent him letters telling him to kill himself. The only reason we know anything about Martin Luther King and all these fake letters is William Sullivan. William felt guilty in the morality of what he has done. So what he did is he quit the FBI and threatened to tell. And when he did tell, he was involved in a hunting accident where he was mistaken for a deer and shot. Now, I don't mean to preach that cops are bad and FBI are evil, but what I do mean to say is you need to use your own judgment. In today's society, and especially in our town today, where cops engage in lobster heists as well as prostitution, you need to make decisions for yourself. This sort of judgment needs to be used in the case of the Black Panther Party. The Black Panthers were violent and they were radical, but they had something to say. A message the FBI should have listened to. Now, this story has personal meaning to me. As a young kid, I always dreamed about being the hero in all the FBI movies, or being the cop that always did the right thing. So when reading these sort of stories about cops misbehaving essentially, it strikes home. So when I hear the story of Ferguson and the Baltimore riots, the first thing that comes into my mind is what role did the police play in it? Now, given the history I've just gone over, it seems the cops are a little malicious. But the message I would truly like to send to you is trust, but verify. Thank you for watching.